What if this very moment, the hum of your thoughts, the breath in your lungs, the warmth of memory, isn't life at all but the final flicker of a dying mind? What if you've already died, and what you're experiencing now is your brain's last, desperate spark, stretching time into a story it refuses to let end? This isn't science fiction. It's a hypothesis grounded in neuroscience, psychology, and the strange nature of human consciousness. One even echoed in ancient philosophy and modern cinema. Committee's a simulator. It creates dreams, replays the past, forecasts the future. But there is one thing it cannot simulate: its own absence. Try to imagine not existing, not sleeping, not unconsciousness, just pure non-being. No perception, no memory, no awareness. You can't. That's not a failure of imagination, that's the architecture of consciousness itself. It can represent the world, the body, even itself, but it cannot represent the state of not representing. This is the death paradox. The mind cannot model its own end. So instead, in its final moments, it might do what it does best: remember. The philosopher Epicurus once said, "Death is nothing to us, for when we exist, death is not. And when death exists, we are not." But what if there is a sliver of time, a gray zone, where both coexist? In 2022, neuroscientists recorded something extraordinary. In patients who were dying, brain activity didn't simply fade. Instead, it surged. A burst of gamma waves, the same brain waves linked with consciousness, memory recall, and vivid dreaming, flared just seconds after the heart stopped. These moments, lasting only 2 or 3 seconds, may be the most intense mental experience we ever have. And if the brain replays memories during this window, what we perceive might feel like an entire lifetime. In the film Inception, time slows dramatically within layers of dreams. 1 minute in the waking world may stretch into years in a dream. Though fictional, the metaphor captures something eerily close to what might be happening at death. Time, as we experience it, is not constant. Under stress, fear, or altered states, time distorts. Seconds stretch, hours collapse. During trauma or near-death experiences, people often report that time slowed down, that everything happened in slow motion. This isn't just perception, it's information density. When the brain processes more data per second, we feel like time is stretching. So if your brain in its final seconds is firing at maximum capacity, reviewing a lifetime of memory, then those 2 seconds could feel like 70 years, or longer. Philosopher Henri Bergson argued that real time is subjective and fluid, unlike the clock time we measure. Our final moments might be lived entirely in this psychological time. Now, imagine this. You live a full life in those final seconds, then you reach your death, again, and the brain, still trapped in its loop, replays the whole thing, again. A perfect simulation, built from memory, wrapped inside consciousness, without external input. Death becomes a feedback loop, a recursive dream, a closed circuit. And with each repetition, the illusion feels real because it's built from your real past, your real senses, your real emotions. This isn't immortality of the body, it's immortality of experience, a looped echo of a life that never ends. In the film Jacob's Ladder, a dying soldier experiences visions and a prolonged dreamlike sequence that turns out to be his brain's final moments. The entire film becomes a metaphor for this very idea. He's the terrifying, beautiful possibility of immortality, the last piece of immortality of the mind. Of a deal collagia medical same, properly fund the way in your gen on mind, in the nother hours within cower, am pastor brain fimth, when you're a slowling gen and borda of life in this. Its proach is proud, well actives at impacted team. Taken meet at centuries, when you're in cower, in your gen your possibility. Next time, 2 people is back, Why your mind all last already? Replaying everything one final time before the lights go out, there is no way to tell. Because the simulation feels like reality. It uses the same neural pathways, the same memories, the same identity. Maybe you died years ago, or just now, and your mind is spinning its last story, stretching time into something eternal. The philosopher Nick Bostrom's simulation theory suggests that we may already be living inside an artificial construct. But what if the simulation isn't built by machines, but by our own mind? In the end, death might not be a wall, but a mirror, one that reflects everything you are, one final time, until the reflection becomes all there is. 2 seconds, but inside, a universe. Maybe the self never truly ends. Maybe it just folds into itself again and again, like a song repeating its final note. If so, you are still alive, not in the world, but in the echo, forever, inside the moment it all ended.